Hi all. Everything in my video is pulled from the public domain, and I am using them under the Fair Use, Fair Dealings guidelines. Everything I say is my own opinion. You should look into this information for yourselves, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. Good morning, everybody. Well, again, a lot to cover today. Things have been very busy, and I have some updates for you on some of the information that I just recently gave you on some of the stories. You're going to love this. So let's just buckle up and get there, shall we? Let's go. We're going to start off with Princess Eugenie this morning. You guys may not know that she's the co-founder of the Anti-Slavery Collective. Anyway, she went a few days ago to the Archbishop School in Canterbury. Reverend Rose Hudson Wilkin was there, the Bishop of Dover, and she learned about the school's Voices of Welcome project. Now, this project takes children from Ukraine and Afghanistan and Britain and gets them in I guess you would call it a cross-cultural exchange. And the school has a very diverse student body with over 40 first languages. Wow. Next up, the Duchess of Gloucester was the guest of honor at the Anglo-Danish Society AGM and scholarship reception at the Danish ambassador's residence. Very nice. Next up, we have the Princess of Wales, Princess Catherine. She was with double Olympian champion Dame Kelly Holmes at the Dom Kelly Holmes Trust. Now, she went to this school called St. Catherine's School, which is in Bristol, and they were taking part in this thing called On Track to Achieve. And basically, you had to run around and do a bunch of stuff. And of course, she got right in it. And there were teams, but Dom Kelly's team won. Catherine came in second. You know that had to just kill her. Now, Miss Kelly founded this National Youth Development Organization because she said she believes that every young person needs a champion. So it takes world-class athletes and pairs them with kids who may lack confidence or have other issues, so they can pass on the winning mindset and help school children get the skills and confidence so that they can succeed in life. And later on, she sat down, Catherine did, she spoke to some of the pupils. They were all girls aged 11 to 13, and they all talked about their home life and their experiences at school and how being benefited by a sports star has really benefited them. Of course, just about everything Catherine had on was a rewear. We know this. So some of the students said that the charity, quote, helped them to better express their emotions, build resilience, and promote positive mental health and well-being. I think that's wonderful. I love stuff like this. Now, it is Mental Health Awareness Month, and of course the sugars went, oh, she's copying Megan. But as you can see, this was arranged back in February. Nice try, though. Moving on. Next up, we have the Duke of Edinburgh, who today opened the Shakespearean North Playhouse. Now, the first thing he did was crack a joke. You know Edward, he was always into plays and stuff, but what he said was really funny. He said, I am following in the footsteps of the most experienced plaque unveiler that the planet has ever known. Exactly. That is a gorgeous playhouse. Okay. Moving on, I don't think I'm going to be able to say this. Leo Varadkar's partner, Matthew Barrett, apparently posted comments to his Instagram account from Westminster Abbey during the coronation, even though attendees were told, shut your phones off. And he said, you know, I showed poor judgment. I apologize. And the comments were never meant to be public. And by the way, that's the Irish Prime Minister. Now, Mr. Varadkar was asked, don't you think Mr. Barrett should apologize? And he said, listen, my partner's a private individual. They were private messages on his private account. He did not intend for them to go public, but it happens. But we've spoken and it won't happen again. And it's up to him whether he should apologize. Moving on. Still sticking with King Charles, he apparently saw the ambassador of the Philippines and the ambassador of, I hope I say this right, Timor-Leste, when they both showed up to present their credentials at Buckingham Palace. Very nice. We're going to move on now to Sophie, who is the patron of CMI managers, and she went this morning to a women's conference. Looking good, Sophie. Next up, Sophie hosted something called the Not Forgotten Garden Party. They've been doing this every year since 1921, and it brings 2,000 ex-servicemen and women for a special afternoon and tea. I just love that, and I love what Sophie's wearing. Love the hat, love the outfit, love Sophie. All right, moving on. All right, next up we have the Princess Trust Award. It took place at the Theatre Royal on Drury Lane. They rolled out the red carpet, as you can see. And of course, Amal and George Clooney looked fabulous walking up that red carpet. There were other stars there as well. I'm just going to point out two people who won awards. There were a lot of awards. One of them is Pierce. He is the Ascension Education Award winner. He had a baby at 14. Joined the Prince's Trust. He now has a graduate. I love that. Here's another person, Gemma, who had some mental health issues, and then she ended up starting her own inclusive recruitment company. How fabulous is that? Just a reminder, Prince Charles started this with the money that he was paid when he was a pilot. And I think it's a wonderful thing, and it's grown, and it's just been nothing but a positive force in the UK. I think it's fabulous. Congratulations to the winners. Okay, really quickly, you know how everybody said that Meghan was out with Gwyneth Paltrow? All right, she apparently put up an Instagram post because she was out having Mother's Day with her daughter. Clearly shows she was not with Harry and Meghan. There you go. And I have to say, I completely agree with this tweet. This is Harry and Meghan. They're trying to ride on the coattails of other A-listers. They've tried it with the paid awards, the designer outfits, the private jets. It's not working. All right, I just wanted to make a quick comment on this article. The rift will never be healed, say insiders, and I agree. You cannot write a book, give interviews, talk about your brother's genitals, talk about his wife, insinuate they're bad parents who aren't protecting their kids, and then and break confidences and expect that, he's going to take you back. Nope. All right, moving on. All right, you guys, do you remember the other day I told you that Harry and Meghan's new PR team was going to start this whole pushing Harry and Meghan up and smearing Catherine and William at every turn? It started. Article number 1. The real reason why Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are still popular in America. Actually, that is untrue. They have lost a massive amount of their fan base here. Here's the next article. Meghan Markle set to receive top award for empowering women at glitzy event. No, she insisted they call her the Duchess of Sussex, which is a title she got through marriage. Ooh, she's going to ooze glamour in a show-stopping gown. Well, y'all, if it's anything like this red gown, she's in trouble. For somebody who talks about tailoring, she has missed the mark multiple times. How about this article? She's more respected than Kate Middleton. No. I mean, I told you this was coming, guys. Oh, and Meghan Markle's incredible love letter to her mom, Doria, for Mother's Day. You know what I mean? So who would have leaked that letter? If Meghan wrote a letter to her mother, that means only two people have that letter, Meghan and Doria. So one of them let the news people know that she wrote her mother a letter. All right. Then you have this stuff like this. They're always thanking their fan base, but look at the stuff they're putting up. And what does that tell you? They're aware of the fan base, like I told you before. How about this headline? Harry's sweet gesture makes Meghan Markle dazzle on date night. It was some sort of body language guy that saw them walking into the place and being ignored by the stars. That was Cameron Diaz who was standing there. But somehow their body language just showed that Meghan was dazzling. How about this one? King Charles is sick of Camilla complaining about Prince Harry showing up to the coronation. You guys, we know this is what WME is doing. This is their tactic. Smear the royals, push Meghan up. I'm telling you. How about this one where they went for mental health awareness? Almost immediately it showed up. Merching everything that she had on. It's terrible. And before you say that's the same thing as Catherine, no. What remoulade sauce does is he looks up what Catherine's wearing and points out that it's a rewear. What Megan's stuff does is it shows up for purchase on Megan's mirror. Not the same thing. And once again, I agree with Megan's mole. How nice of Megan to use that charity as a backdrop to wear her $250,000 worth of jewelry. She never just pares it down and goes simple. She's always slathered, you know. Now, if you think that bots aren't helping them, look at this post. That is absolutely a bot. You know how I know? Because here it is again and again. A big thank you to Helen3030 on Twitter for these. Yes. So who do we know that runs bots that could do this over and over and over and over and over on other people's accounts? Interesting. And that leads me to this post that was put up. William and Catherine's lives matter too. And the constant attacks on them, they've never once spoken about you. Not good, not bad. They are simply silent, kind of like Chelsea Davy. So why don't you just stop what you're doing? All right, moving on now. Sir Edward Young, he worked for the Queen for 19 years. Then he worked for Charles and he was going to retire, but he agreed to stay in place until everybody found their footing. So he's retiring. And Harry blames him for the Queen's refusal to allow him and Meghan to work part-time and the permanent taxpayer-funded police protection in the UK. He was given a peerage. He became Lord Young. And off he goes. And I find it interesting, though, that he thinks that the Queen could be controlled in that fashion. I mean, obviously he thinks his grandmother was weak-minded. Now, we're bringing this gentleman up because Harry's second legal case against the Home Office over personal security is being heard in the UK. Now, understand that this hearing is to change the decision. Okay, how do I explain this? He wants another chance to argue to get security. So the court system in the UK is very different from the United States. And he has to get the judge to say it's okay for you to have another shot to explain why you want it. Now, the lawyers for the Home Office say it's not appropriate for quote-unquote wealthy people to buy armed protection. The Duke's lawyers, Harry's lawyers, say that the decision with Ravik was inconsistent with the Police Act of 1996, which allows the chief officer of the police to provide special services. And so this is related to his earlier attempt to challenge the decision. Now, here's the thing. He knew when he left that he was going to lose security. He knew what was going to happen. But I honestly think that in his brain, he thought, I'm going to be the king's son. They need to pay for me for protection. That's what I honestly think he thought. Anyway, this is just to get permission to proceed with the next judicial review. That is all this is. Do I think he's going to lose? Yes, I do. So for those of you who are like, this is costing us a fortune, Harry's costing us a fortune, never fear. Because the government already said that if he loses, they're going to go after him for court costs. So remember, there's two judicial reviews going on. One is for Harry to be allowed to pay for his security. I think he's going to lose that one. And number two, there was a second judicial review into the decision to strip his royal protection. I believe that one is going to trial. Now, that ruling to strip his royal protection, his attorney said in court that the Home Office delegates that decision to Ravik. Ravik made the decision, but since I guess it went against Harry, his lawyers are now saying that Ravik doesn't have the power to make that decision? What? Yeah, I'll keep an eye on it for you guys. All right, we're coming towards the end. A couple other things. Somebody sent this to me. Somebody wrote a book. It's like it's called Meghan and Harry's Alternative Universe. Here's a couple of little snippets from the book. I don't think it's in their favor. I'm just like, who in the heck writes stuff like this? I can't even fathom. Yeah. All right. Not that I'm suggesting you go buy it, but take a look at it. All right. One last thing. All right, so one of my subscribers sent me an email and said, I used to just love your videos, but when you end your videos, you let everybody know to go into the description box and find the links to all your contact information. And quite frankly, I don't understand why you do that. It bothers me, essentially, is what she said. And also at the end of every one of my videos, I thank every single person who's donated any money, whether it be through the coffee button or the thanks button. And I'm sorry if that annoys you. I'm not going to stop thanking people for donating if they're donating. And quite frankly, the reason I keep giving my contact information is because the last time I got thrown off, nobody knew how to reach me. And to this day, people are still saying, where's your contact information? So I'm just telling everybody. Don't get me wrong, this letter was very nice, but just unnecessary. And then she said, and I've unsubscribed. I told her to have a nice day. If you see something you don't like, skip past it. All right, now we've got Finn. The neighbors across the street got a new animal and Finn wanted to make friends with it. Watch this. What are you barking at? Oh, the cow. There's a cow. Finn, he can't play with you. I know you want to play with him, but he can't play. Come on. All right, you guys, so here comes the annoying stuff. Here we go. Put those comments down and make them good. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell. If you've already hit it, double check, make sure you're still subscribed. You can go into my description box and you'll find the links to my Twitter, my Getter, my Rumble, my email, and my physical address in case there's something you want to send. If you have donated money through the coffee fund or through the thanks button, thank you so much. And as always, you guys, have a great day.